The live broadcast of the Senate this afternoon. It is the 8th day of October, the year being 2025, and this live broadcast streaming from the County Assembly of Busia is brought to you courtesy of the partnership between the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation and the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit. This is the third day of Senate Mashinani in Busia County, but the plenary sessions have entered the second day. We've had a motion during morning sitting by the leader of the majority party, where members delved into the issue of cross-border trade. This afternoon, the House will be resuming the second part of its session this Wednesday with a lot lined up for consideration by senators. In today's order paper, the County Hall of Fame, Senate Bills number 18 of the year 2023 by Senator Miraj Abdullahi will have senators resume debate on that bill. The House will also consider the County Oversight and Accountability Bill, Senate Bills number 3 of the year 2024. Allow me to hand over for this live broadcast. Enjoy your viewing and good afternoon.
Na tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu, tunakusihi tutazame kwa neema nyingi na baraka sisi watumishi wako ambao umeridhika kutuita kwa nyadhifa za uongozi katika jambo hili yetu. Tunakuomba utujalie tuyatende na kufikia mambo yote atakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Clerk, do we have quorum? We do have quorum, and therefore we'll start the order of the day as contained in this afternoon's order paper. Clerk, proceed to call the first order.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Now, honorable senators, I have a communication to make on the election of Senator Maureen Tabitha Mutinda. She in the House? MP, to serve as a member of the board of the Parliamentary Network on the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, IMF, for the term 2025 to 2027. The Parliamentary Network on the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund is an independent, non-governmental organization that provides a platform for parliamentarians from across the world to engage with the World Bank Group and the IMF on issues on transparency, accountability, and development effectiveness. The network facilitates dialogue between legislators, civil society, and international financial institutions with a focus on promoting good governance in the management of public resources, advancing poverty reduction strategies, and supporting policies that foster inclusive economic growth. Now, honorable senators, I wish to inform the Senate that Senator Maureen Tabitha Mutinda, MP, has been elected to serve as a member of the Board of Governance of the Parliamentary Network on the World Bank and IMF for the term 2025-2027. The Board of Governors is charged with the responsibility of setting the strategic agenda and providing guidance for the activities of the Parliamentary Network. In this capacity, Senator Mutinda will represent the East African region within the board. Senator Mutinda will assume office on the 13th of October, 2025, during the parliamentary engagement at the 2025 annual meetings of the World Bank and IMF. Honorable senators, I take this opportunity to congratulate the honorable senator on my own behalf and on behalf of the Senate on her election, and urge all honorable senators to accord her the necessary support as she undertakes this important role on behalf of our region. I thank you. I will allow one or two honorable senators who wish to pass a word of congratulation. Senator Enoch, under 2 minutes, not more than 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me to take this opportunity to congratulate our sister, our colleague, Senator Tabitha Mutinda, for the role that she has been appointed to serve in the board of the IMF and World Bank. The Speaker, this speaks volumes about her as a person and the quality of leaders that this Senate is able to produce, not just for the nation, not just for the continent, but for the world. To Senator Mutinda, I want to wish her well and tell her that we will support her in all ways possible. The Speaker, this is a time that I cannot even miss to brag, because I have some bragging rights in as far as Senator Tabitha Mutinda is concerned. Senator Tabitha Mutinda, Mr. Speaker, is a daughter of Kitui County. She comes from my constituency, Kitui West, in Mashinani Ward. And the Speaker, this is a great honor to our people. And to tell ladies and young men in Kitui County that we are setting the pace for them. That yes, we may have come from very low backgrounds with the Speaker, with different hardships, but the world is there for us to beat. And Senator Tabitha Mutinda has set the pace for ladies from Kitui. Let us go for it. Let us do it. It is possible. We are proud of you, Senator Mutinda. Go and conquer the world around you. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kavin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to congratulate Senator Tabitha Mutinda on this nomination. She was very passionate looking for the vote, and I remember her coming and asking me, have you voted? and she really did it. Congratulations, and I just want to give you a piece of advice as a senator of Machakos and as a mother, an elder. Go and make us women proud. Go and stand your ground and do what is best for this country and for East Africa. Go and show that women can do it. And may God be with you and help you as you serve. Thank you, and God bless you.
Senator Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to say one thing, which is the fact that UDA can get their nominations right. Mr. Speaker, you know, following recent events, which I don't want to refer to, a lot has been thrown our way on the quality of nominations by the UDA party. But you can see the quality of people representation that we have in this House. So on that account, Mr. Speaker, I want to congratulate Senator Tabitha Mutinda, as well as many others of a strong cohort of the UDA nomination of 2022. We are proud of you. Now that is a true representation of a UDA nominee. The others, Mr. Speaker, where things may have happened, was that an error by the pen of Senator Veronica Maina.
Senator Newton. Senator Newton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. I also want to join my colleagues in congratulating Senator Tabitha Mutinda on her nomination as a member of the board of IMF and World Bank. Mr. Speaker, Senator Tabitha Mutinda is the vice chair of the Finance Committee. And for that reason, I know that this is not an accidental nomination, that is more than qualified to serve in that position, Mr. Speaker. And to also congratulate her and every other woman leader, because it is a proof that women leadership is something that has been embraced, not just in Kenya, but worldwide. Mr. Speaker, I congratulate my sister from the Brown Mother, who is also proof that you can have beauty with brains. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So we'll rest it at that. Honorable Senators, I have a further communication to make. As honorable senators are aware, when the Senate Mashinani program was conceived in 2018, a tradition was established, a tradition of recognizing persons of high stature who have made significant contribution not only to the host county, but to the country at large. This initiative perfectly aligns with one of the legislative proposals that Senator Miraj Abdullahi MP is championing, the County Hall of Fame Bill, Senate Bills number 18 of 2023. The bill seeks to establish a county hall of fame in each county, through which county governments shall bestow honor on individuals within their respective counties acclaimed as being outstanding, exceptional, or illustrious in any profession or activity. The bill is scheduled for second reading in today's order paper, and it is indeed a privilege and honor to debate it in Busia County. Busia has had many outstanding individuals of renown, and determining whom to acknowledge or recognize has been no easy task. There is always the danger of offending some constituencies and sensitivities by naming some persons and not others. The individuals we are recognizing today, some of whom we have invited and are seated in the gallery, others who could not make, and yet others who have since passed on, do not represent an exhaustive or closed list. Busia has many heroes and heroines. As I read out this Wall of Fame, which is not in any order of precedence, I kindly request those who are present in the gallery to stand in their place and be acknowledged by the Senate on behalf of our grateful nation. His Excellency, Honorable Mudi Awori, AGH. Honorable Mudi Awori is the former Vice President of the Republic of Kenya and the first person to serve in that capacity from Busia County. He is not present, but we still, we will honor him in absentia. The other one is Senator Amos Wako, EGH, Senior Counsel. Senator Kathy, that is not the tradition of the Senate. Yes, we are not going to. Order, honorable senators, order, order. Senator Kathy, Senator Catherine, you know when the chair is upstanding, you don't stand. Secondly, you don't clap and jump around in excitement. As a member of the panel, I will let you walk. No. I will not caution the Honorable Catherine, but just to guide her. That is not in order. Now, Senator Amos Wako is a renowned jurist, long-serving Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya and the first Senator for Busia County. The third person is Honorable Kenneth Marende, EGH. Now, as honorable senators are aware, Honorable Marende is a renowned personality in the Western Kenya region who comes from Vihiga County. He served as the Speaker of the National Assembly in the 11th Parliament from 2008 to 2013. He also served as the chairperson of the Parliamentary Service Commission. Prior to being elected Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Marende served as a Member of Parliament representing Mhaya constituency between 2003 and 2007. A major hallmark of Honorable Marende's tenure as Speaker was opening up of Parliament to the public through live broadcasting of parliamentary proceedings, modernization of the National Assembly chamber, and establishment of an expansion of the parliamentary facilities for members and staff, and the establishment of structures to accommodate our bicameral legislature following the promulgation of the new constitution in August 2010. Now, the third personality is Honorable Professor Julia Ojiambo. Honorable Julia is in the house. Now, honorable senators, there must be a difference when you're chairing your favorable club and when you're honoring the honorable member who has just stood up. You may take your seat, Honorable Julia Ojiambo. Now, Professor is a renowned politician and academic. First female assistant minister, appointed to various portfolios, party leader of the Labour Party of Kenya, Member of Parliament for Busia Central Constituency, now known as Funyula Constituency, a crusader for affirmative action, and one of the founder members of Maendeleo ya Wanawake. Honorable Justice Dr. Smokin Wanjala, CBS. The Honorable Judge is not with us. However, Justice Smokin Wanjala is a renowned legal scholar, Judge of the Supreme Court of Kenya, and current Director of the Kenya Judiciary Academy. Honorable Sospita Ojamong, MGH. Honorable Ojemong is the first governor of Busia County and former member of parliament representing Amagoro constituency. Honorable Chrysanthus Okemo, EJH. Honorable Okemo is a former member of parliament for Nambale constituency, a cabinet minister in the Ministries of Finance and Energy, respectively, and a former member of the Parliamentary Service Commission in the 10th Parliament. A major hallmark of his tenure as Minister for Finance was the removal of tax on bicycles, which encouraged tax businesses, commonly referred as border border. Honorable Albert Agri Alexander Ekirapa. Honorable Ekirapa is a former long-serving Nation Media Group chairperson and chief executive. He also served as a member of parliament for Amagoro constituency and assistant minister for trade and industry. Honorable Francis Masahalia, EJH. He is the first member of parliament for Butula constituency and former minister for finance. The Honorable Florence Mutoa, first Busia County women representative. The Honorable Ababu Nomamba, EJH, permanent representative of the Republic of Kenya to the United Nations Office at Nairobi and the United Nations Environment Programme, former member of parliament for Budalangi constituency and cabinet secretary in various portfolios. The Honorable Dr. Christine Mango. Honorable Mango is a leading educationist, former member of parliament for Butula constituency, who also served as a member of the Judicial Service Commission. Thank you for honoring us with your presence. The Honorable Philip Masinde. Honorable Masinde is present. Honorable Masinde is a former cabinet minister for labor and member of parliament for Nambale constituency. Thank you, Honorable Nambale, for honoring us with your presence. The Honorable Dr. John Sakwa Bunyasi. Honorable Bunyasi is a former member of parliament for Nambale constituency and current chairperson of the Kenya Development Corporation. Thank you, Honorable Sakwa, for honoring us with your presence. Ms. Susan Mangeni, CBS. Ms. Susan is the Principal Secretary, State Department of Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises, Ministry of Cooperative and Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises Development. Dr. Boniface Makoha. Dr. Boniface Makoha is the Principal Secretary, State Department of Economic Planning in the National Treasury and Economic Planning. The late Hilary Ngweno. The late Hilary Ngweno is a nuclear physicist who was a career journalist, best known as the editor-in-chief of the Weekly Review. He founded the first independent television news station in Kenya, STV. The late Professor Nimrod Bwibo. Prof. Nimrod Bwibo is a renowned pediatrician and an academic and former chairman of the Maseno University Council. He was one of the founding members of the University of Nairobi Faculty of Medicine. The late Professor Nelson Awori, a widely celebrated medical doctor, educator, and researcher. He was the first African doctor to perform a kidney transplant in 1978. He also pioneered the Department of Urology at the University of Nairobi. The late Honorable James Charles Osogo, veteran politician and long-serving cabinet minister in many portfolios. Dr. Josephine Ojiambo. Dr. Josephine Ojiambo is a seasoned diplomat who has distinguished herself as one of Kenya's premier multilateralists. She is recognized by the Minister of Health as the national sickle cell champion. Honorable retired Justice Matthew Mkule. Justice Mkule is a former judge of the High Court of Kenya and is also a distinguished jurist. Dr. Joseph Jesse Masiga JJ, a legendary footballer who starred as a striker for AFC Leopards and Harambee Stars. Mr. McDonald Mariga, renowned international professional footballer for Harambee Stars and first Kenyans to play in and win the UEFA Champions League with Inter Milan. He serves as the current vice chairperson of FKF. Mr. Gabriel Mukele. Mr. Gabriel Mukele is a former vice chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Kenya, ECK, the predecessor of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IBC. Mr. Vincent Ongidi. Mr. Ongidi is a celebrated musician renowned for his vibrant renditions of traditional music, most notably the Mama Mulaini hit song. Thank you. Mr. Victor Wanyama. Mr. Wanyama is a celebrated footballer and captain of Harambee Stars and the first Kenyan to play in the English Premier League and score in the UEFA Champions League. Mr. Wilberforce Mulamba, a legendary attacking midfielder, best known for his sensational dribbling skills and prolific goal scoring, and his long service in AFC Leopards and Harambee Stars. Now, honorable senators, ladies and gentlemen, as I indicated before, this list is not by any means exhaustive. I cannot conclude this communication without acknowledging our very own clerk of the Senate. Mr. Order, honorable senators. Mr. Jeremiah Makoha Nyegenya, CBS, who hails from Bukayo Westward, Matayos constituency of Busia County. Since his appointment as clerk of the Senate in October 2012, and subsequently as secretary to the Parliamentary Service Commission in March 2013, he has led the technical arm of the Senate with unwavering dedication, exemplary professionalism, zeal, and integrity. The Senate thanks him for his continued service. Honorable senators, I thank you. Next order. I will maybe allow honorable senators to maybe extend some welcoming remarks to the great men and women who are here today. Senator Omtata.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for today, for honoring the luminaries from this community. As you can notice, Busia County has been a central player, be it in the sports, be it in culture, be it in the sciences, be it in law, be it in whatever line you have, in the academia, in medicine. The county has contributed its rightful share in the country. At times when you look at the county and the personality has produced, you'll find that this county has on many occasions punched beyond its weight. And it's because of those beautiful names you have had that this county has contributed to the development of this country. And it's really good that yesterday, on the floor of this house, we debated the County Hall of Fame bill, which seeks to immortalize names like the ones that we've had being mentioned on the floor of this house. And across the country, very many people have contributed to the development of this country, and sometimes they don't get acknowledged, and therefore they cease serving as role models to generations that are coming after them. I'm sure very few people in this hall knew that the first kidney transplant by an African was by a band from Busia. Very few people knew that. And in the 70s, not when you have got AI, in the 70s, when everything it will depend on you. So that's a very, very important mark. We have had our own former Senator and AG Emeritus, Amos Wako, who holds the record of having been the longest serving, today the longest serving Attorney General. And from the way things look like, that record may never be broken. It is held by a person from Busia. So really, it's with pride that I stand here listening to those names. And as the Speaker has rightly said, the list is very long. We can't exhaust it in one sitting. But the sampling was good. It captured all the critical areas. And also it tells you that no sector of the economy is more important than the other. So we need to develop all these sectors, and we need to celebrate people, and we need to celebrate ourselves as Kenyans. Their contributions were contributions as Kenyans. They never contributed those things as people pigeonholed in small corners. So with those few remarks, I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I thank you, members of the Senate, for honoring these distinguished sons and daughters of this county. And we have had very many firsts. Like if you are to look at the CV of Professor Julia Ojambo, there are so many firsts that one page is not enough to fill. It's not enough to hold. You'll have to do 2, 3 pages of just firsts. And that's the kind of thing that would be a good role model for us as a country. I thank you very much, and I hand back the mic.
Now, honorable senators, if you get an opportunity to speak, please keep it under 3 minutes so that we can have as many senators wishing to contribute get an opportunity. The Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I had not requested the floor, but now that I have it, allow me to.
Yes, as the Majority Leader, it will only be fair that you lead the queue in honoring this.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I join you on behalf of my colleagues to celebrate this long list of eminent Kenyans that have made serious contribution into the body fabric of the republic that is Kenya, who hail from this land of Busia. Mr. Speaker, I celebrate all of them, those that are known to me and those that are known by way of their achievements, Mr. Speaker, including men in academia, men in sports, and other professions, Mr. Speaker. I celebrate our former colleague, Senator Amos Wako, who mentored us when we joined Parliament and has continued to follow closely the work of many of us in this House. Mr. Speaker, I'll be remiss if I don't celebrate the industry and the dignity to a public servant that is embodied by none other than the clerk of this House, Mr. Jeremiah Nyegenya. I've had the opportunity to work with that man very closely during my days in PSC, and I can say this institution today is what it is, courtesy of his stand and being a man of integrity. Being in his home, I join you and the rest of my colleagues in celebrating him for what he has contributed in making the Senate what it is today. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, is also to note that this county has given us great sportsmen, including none other than the Vice Chairperson of the Football Kenya Federation, MacDonald Mariga, who hails from this land, Mr. Speaker. A good friend and a great Kenyan as well, who has lifted the flag of this republic very high. This is a great county, Mr. Speaker, and we could not have picked a better place to celebrate this year's Senate Mashinani other than Busia, the home of great legends. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Professor Margaret Kamara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to celebrate Busia as a county. Mr. Speaker, I'm here to celebrate all those whom I know and those whom I don't know. But I will just mention 3 who are present here and 1 who is absent. Let me start with the Honorable Professor Mango Christine, who is among the first professor women to be bold enough to go into politics. We follow your footsteps, Christine. Thank you very much for opening the door for the rest of us who did not believe being a professor and being a politician were things that could have been done. I want to also say echo to the Senator Amos Wako, the smiling AG of Kenya. He was not called smiling AG only in Kenya, but you meet Ugandans and they'll tell you, that smiling AG of yours, I was in the East African Legislative Assembly and that's what they called him. Tanzania called him exactly the same. He was highly involved in the drafting of the Constitution of Kenya. I was in the Bomas process, and he really guided the process very well as an advisor of government. Thank you so much, and God bless you. The third one is one who is a mentor to me up to now, the Honorable Professor Julia Ojambo. The Professor Julia Ojambo, we have been told, was the first, she has a lot of firsts. Nobody can finish her list. She was the first assistant minister in Kenya. She was the first PhD graduate of University of Nairobi. She was the first Kenyan woman to go to Harvard. She was the first woman MP from the whole of Western. We say congratulations. I really am happy, Mr. Speaker, that we put a lot of value to our Senate Mashinani in Busia by adding this recognition. Of course, in addition to the bill that was brought by our senator yesterday, it reminds us that we must learn to appreciate human beings. We must learn to appreciate ourselves. If we don't write our history, nobody else will do that. Julia Ojambo continues to work for this country. She's now in the National Fund for the Disabled of Kenya, where she actually attracted me to join, and I have joined as a member, and she's doing an excellent job. It's unbelievable. Finally, in absentia, and one who was not in your list, the daughter of the soil, Agnes Odhiambo, the first comptroller of budget. Please, let's remember that very powerful lady. I know she also, like Senator Moma, went to Nyanza, and they seem to be forgotten when they are here, when they have left. But she did a powerful job. She worked with this parliament very well. I was in the 10th parliament, and she guided the spending of this country. And in fact, she is the one who started the reporting to parliament of how the constituencies were spending money. We want to say congratulations, congratulations, wonderful, powerful men and women of Busia. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Meth.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. And first and foremost, allow me to thank you most sincerely and your predecessors who actually came up with this tradition of honoring the great men and women of the different places that we'll be visiting. Some of the people in the Speaker's Gallery, I know them, I may not have met them physically, but out of the good things that I have done for the nation, I've had an opportunity to know them. More specifically, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Attorney General Emeritus Amos Wako became Attorney General of Kenya when I was only 4 months old. And he has continued serving this nation until last time when he left Parliament. So, Speaker, sir, we continue to honor, we continue to thank the great men from this county who have served this nation. And I would not want to forget our very own Jeremiah Nyegenye Makoha, who is a distinguished parliamentarian and a distinguished servant of this House, Mr. Speaker, a consummate professional. Every time politics is thrown his way, he runs away. He is a consummate professional who has dealt with each one of us in a very professional way. Occasionally, Mr. Speaker, sir, you deal with us politically, but he deals with us professionally, and we are very grateful about it. Maybe finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, is to ask ourselves, on the day Senate Mashinani will be in Siaya, what will be said about Oburu Odinga? On the day Senate Mashinani will be in Nyandarua, what will be said about John Medhu? On the day Senate Mashinani will be in any of our counties, Mr. Speaker, sir, what will be said about the time that we had to serve, such that you not just be read that John Medhu was a senator for Nyandarua, and that is just what will be remembered about my time in the Senate. We would want to make and leave a print of what we have done now and in the days that we'll continue serving. Maybe finally, is to continue encouraging those of us who have been given an opportunity to serve, especially at a young age. You can continue serving and you can serve at different capacities. You yourself, Mr. Speaker, we are following on your paths. You became a member of parliament at my age. You have continued serving until this minute. You are still serving as a senator. Maybe finally, allow me to also recognize one son of this county, Senator for Busia, Okia Andrew Omtata, a very good and great man who is incorruptible. He has proven time and again that he's a man who lives, you cannot corrupt Senator Omtata. He's a man who lives and he has a lot of independence of his mind, and we celebrate you, Senator Omtata. We have so much learned from you and continue serving. We may not be together on that journey of your presidency, but you are a good man and we shall continue working together. Thank you very much.
The minority leader. The minority leader.
Asante sana mstahiki Spika. Mstahiki Spika, nataka nijiunge pamoja na wewe ili kuweza kuwatambua wale wote wananchi wa Busia kwa juhudi zao. Hususan nataka kusema kwamba kaunti hii ya Busia ni kaunti ambayo imejenga ama imeweza kuparticipate, kujihusisha katika mambo ya maendeleo katika nchi ya Kenya. Kwanza ni kwamba mwanasheria ambaye alijulikana sana, alibobea, amefanya kazi zaidi ya miaka 20 kama Attorney General wa Kenya. Na vile vile nataka kubaliana na Mtata ni kwamba pengine hakutakuwa na mwingine ambaye atachukua muda kama huo. Mzee wetu Amos Wako. Nataka kusema kwamba Amos Wako si kiongozi tu, lakini pia mimi wakati nimemaliza kupita kule Kenya School of Law, mtu wa kwanza kuniandika kibarua ndani ya serikali alikuwa Amos Wako. Kwa hiyo nataka kusema kwamba Amos Wako, mimi nakutambua na najua wewe ni mzee wangu na kazi uliifanya, na mimi pia uliandika kazi. Nafuata mkondo wako. La pili, Bwana Spika, nataka nitambue pia vile vile walioko wale wasomi wote. Hatuwezi kuwataja wote kwa majina tukawamaliza, lakini pia kuna mchezaji mmoja alikuwa anacheza Tottenham Hotspurs. Yule anaitwa Wanyama. Wanyama anatoka katika eneo hili na alikuwa anatengeneza mpira kule Ulaya, hususan katika nchi ile ya England ile. Kwa hiyo ni mmoja wa wale watoto ambao walizaliwa hapa ndani ya Busia. Vile vile pia tunajua kwamba kaunti hii ilitoa pia vice president ama naibu wa rais, na wananchi wengi ambao wamefanya itikadi mbalimbali. Madaktari wako hapa, wasomi wako hapa, tunaendelea kujivunia, na leo tuko hapa tunajivunia watu wote walioko ndani ya Busia County. Asanteni sana kwa juhudi zenu mlizofanya na mtaendelea kufanya kuona kwamba nchi yetu itaendelea mbele tukiiga mfano wenu. Asante Bwana Speaker.
Senator Okenyuri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also wish to recognize all the eminent persons whom the Senate has recognized this afternoon. And just to admit, Mr. Speaker, coming to Busia was a blessing, because for the first time I'm able to see Honorable Julia Ujambo live. I just read about her in history. So courtesy of this visit to Busia, I'm very privileged to see the champion of affirmative action, because she, in a big way, demystified the fact that, you know, women can be in some of these spaces, and gender shouldn't be used to scare women from participating in decision-making and politics. Mr. Speaker, I also wish to recognize the footballers who've been mentioned. I'm a football fan, and their contribution and action at that time entertained most of us. And it's good to note that most of them hail from this county. And finally, recognize the clerk of the Senate, who has also been recognized, a very professional individual, among few few very professional people we've had at a time like this, and men of integrity who have refused to, bow to certain external pressures which sometimes tempt people of little faith, Mr. Speaker. So with those few remarks, I really thank them and wish that so many other people can follow those footsteps. Thank you.
Senator Mugen.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to also join my colleagues in passing my congratulations to the men and women who have been lucky to be inducted to the Hall of Fame for residents of Busia. Mr. Speaker, I have had the honor of serving with the Senator Amos Wako when I chaired JLAC in the last parliament. He's a fellow colleague in the role of senior counsels. He has served as our Attorney General, as the titular head of the bar, and he's a man who is extremely professional. A student of Alliance High School, but a very, very humble man, Mr. Speaker. I hope, Mr. Speaker, now that we have led the way in honoring these men and women, I hope the county government of Busia and even the county assembly will take steps, Mr. Speaker, to create a wall where we can have these names we have read this afternoon put somewhere as a hall. I mean, we can call it the Wall of Fame for Busia, Mr. Speaker. We have gone out there and we have seen, if you go to Australia, Mr. Speaker, if you walk along the corridors, you find that people have served Australia with distinction. Their pictures and a brief history is given on the corridors of the Senate of Australia. I hope this county can take the distinction of taking the first step, Mr. Speaker, of honoring these men and daughters of Busia. I can't conclude my remarks without, Mr. Speaker, making a special recognition to the very industrious clerk of the Senate, Jeremiah Nyegenye, a very humble man. I've never known a time that Clerk Nyegenye has taken leave, whether you are on recess, whether you are in session, whether it is after work. When you want to reach out Nyegenye, you will always reach him. A very professional man. I hope when he retires, the people of Busia will honor him with some position the way they did to Amos Wako, so that he continues serving the great county of Busia. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mungatana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there are colleagues we served with when we were younger in the older parliament, Honorable Amos Wako, Honorable Kisenthes Okemo, Honorable Christine Mango, and it's great to see them again. But the one thing I don't forget about Amos Wako, not all the nice things he achieved, but he called me to his house one day. He may have forgotten. And when we had had some lunch, I saw an old car in the compound. And I asked Attorney General, why is there an old car in the compound? And Mr. Speaker, he told me, you must never forget where you came from. That was my first car, and I keep it there so that I don't forget my roots. And true to his word, today we found him here in Busia, which is where he came from. And Mr. Speaker, I value those words. Thank you, Attorney General. Even when we lost the chungwa and banana, you are still there with us. We thank you for the work you did at that time. And thank you for bringing a new constitution to this country. People don't know what you went through, but some of us also knew what you actually sacrificed a lot. We thank you. Mr. Speaker, there are two other people that when we were younger, we were excited to hear their names. Dr. J.J. Masiga and Wilberforce Mulamba. Mr. Speaker, these people, in those days, people forget, we didn't have televisions most families. So we used to listen to KBC radio. And even those that we had television, it was black and white. And it used to go only to after news and the TV switched off. Mr. Speaker, every time Wilberforce Mulamba will hold that ball, our hearts as Kenyans were together. Every time Dr. J.J. Masiga will hold that ball, our hearts were together with him. We honor you, even if you are not here, and we thank you, Busia, for giving us these people who used to make our hearts run and also cry. We were with you in AFC Leopards those days. We were not in Gor Mahia. Maybe one day we will join. But we were happy that you made the contributions you did for us. We thank you. We honor you. May God bless you even in your retirement. And thank you very much, Busia County, for giving us these great men and your great senator, the Honorable Okia Omutata. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kavindo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to congratulate our heroes who are here today with us after they have served this country so dedicatedly. I've worked with, closely with two of them, Amos Wako in the last Senate, and we used to get his wisdom at last. When we are debating things, the Speaker then used to give him opportunity to give us his wisdom, and we've really appreciated. Congratulations for the good work that you've done for this country. Professor, Honorable Julia Odhiambo, thank you so much for the good work that you've done for this country, and you are still working up to today. Just last week, we went to commission 2 dormitories in Masinga, where I called you for PWDs, and you willingly supported and gave funds to build those 2 dormitories. And as if that was not enough, you also gave out money to build the houses for both caretakers of the students. I want to honor you, Mama, and tell you we've watched you. We are following your steps together with those other women who are before us like you. Continue, and I thank God for His keeping you very strong, all of you. You will still continue giving us that wisdom that God has put in you. I want to thank God for our own, the clerk of the Senate. This is my 2nd term in the Senate. And wherever you call the clerk, Nyengenye, even if he's in a meeting, he will revert your call, even if it is late. He will tell you, I was busy, I want to hear what you wanted. If we can get such people, then this Senate would be a good and a better place. Also, our Speaker who is here, whenever you call him, he will always return your call and ask you what you wanted. I want just to say to the government of Kenya, this is a good thing to recognize such people who contributed to the well-being of this country, even after they have retired, after they are resting back at home, and also be taken care of to be known how they are living and what they are doing, and especially for insurances that they can use at old age. Thank you very much, and congratulations, all of you, even those whom I did not mention your names. Thank you.
Senator Perez, Tobacco.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Let me also join my colleagues to congratulate and appreciate these eminent personalities of our great country from Busia County who have contributed so much in our country, service to the people, Mr. Speaker, and we thank God that He's keeping them strong. Mr. Speaker, as we recognize all of them, Senator Amos Wako, the former Vice President, Mudi Aori, and the Speaker, Kenneth Marende, who is remembered for his Solomonic ruling at, I think, in the 10th Parliament, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, of particular the interest to me and appreciation is Professor Julia Ojiambo, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when I got an interest to join politics, and I tried to join the main political parties in the country. At that time, there was KANU, that was 2007. There was KANU and LDP. There was those major parties, Mr. Speaker. No major party, Mr. Speaker, would have given me a chance because they believed from a conservative community there would be no chance of electing a woman, Mr. Speaker. And for this great lady, Mr. Speaker, she gave me an opportunity through her party, LPK. I just wanted to take this time on the floor of this house to tell Professor Julia Ojiambo, finally, I made it to Parliament. I am doing my 3rd term in Parliament now, having been in the National Assembly for 10 years, and now in the Senate, and heading to be the governor of Kajiado County in 2027. And so, Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Senator Enoch Wambua.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me to join you and my colleagues in congratulating the great men and women that you have mentioned and that are worth of our honor, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to begin by honoring a former colleague and a friend, a senior friend, the AG Emeritus Amos Cecilia Wako. Mr. Speaker, Wako, Senator, has made a great contribution to the legal fraternity in this country. He has made a great contribution to the new constitutional dispensation that we enjoy today. Mr. Speaker, he has made a great contribution to the entire governance structure of Kenya. And to see him, Mr. Speaker, now in retirement, but healthy and looking very fit, we can only thank God for him. Mr. Speaker, I want to also thank a lady that has been thanked and congratulated by a lot of my colleagues, Madam Professor Julia Ojiambo. Mr. Speaker, those that who crafted the biography of Professor Julia Ojiambo left a very important role that she has played in the politics and the governance of this country. That she played the role of a running mate or for a presidential candidate, one Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, when they joined the Wiper, the ODM Kenya and the LPK. And Mr. Speaker, that speaks volumes about Professor Julia and the place in society that she occupies, not just in Busia, but in this country. The Speaker, I also want to thank the entire leadership, the Speaker, of the Mulembe Nation. This nation has produced national leaders of serious reputation. And nobody should ever tell this nation, the Mulembe Nation, that the only role that it can play is to be second to other people. They've done that enough times, Mr. Speaker. It is time that this nation moved to the next level and provides opportunities and options for leadership in this country. Mr. Speaker, with those remarks, I congratulate those leaders. I thank you.
Senator Kisank.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also join my colleagues to congratulate the eminent persons from Busia County and also the Western region, and to start first to comment on Senator Amos Wako, who has been my neighbor for the last 23 years in Nairobi. He has done a good job. I know some people like Aaron Cheriotia and Esther Ekunyuri read him in the books. I think by the time he became the Attorney General, they were still either born or in nursery school. Yes. Oh, is he? Senator Amos Wako is known in the region as a smiling Attorney General, composed, not emotional, and he delivered for the country. And colleagues have said the 2010 Constitution is among the brain that crafted and delivered that Constitution that we have today. That's the reason why we're in Busia this day. It is because of the results of the 2010 Constitution, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the other person that I wanted to also make comments on is AAA Egraba. When we were in the university and high school, in fact, we thought the Nation Media Group was owned by AAA, chairman and CEO, until when he retired. Now we knew that he was not the owner, but I believe he has several shares in that particular entity, Honorable Speaker, because he was the CEO and the chair for a long time. And Nation Media Group was synonymous with him. And until when I became a member of Parliament, 2013, the Deputy Governor for Busia was my colleague, and we came to Tessa North, where he was a member of Parliament when it was Tessa North and Tessa South. Then was one constituency. And of course, we cannot forget our Professor Julia Ujambo. Everybody read about her, and Okiya Omtada said, you cannot feel her past. Harvard, whatever, first woman, first assistant minister woman, all these issues. And last and final, Honorable Speaker, is Okiya Omtada. We also value him. I know what you did for us in the 13th Parliament. You came and changed yourself outside the Parliament, and now I'm happy that you're also part of the Parliament that you changed yourself that time. Maybe you're like Shukuku. You should not look for presidency, because if you look for presidency, you might actually go outside to the streets and protest against yourself. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Catherine.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to also celebrate the heroes and heroines who've been mentioned. Honorable Speaker, my profuse apologies for the manner in which I behaved, even though I'm a member of the Presidium. Honorable Speaker, it's because Honorable Amos Wako was my boss for 9 years. Honorable Amos Wako taught me to be who I am. Honorable Amos Wako taught me professionalism. Anything I do right professionally is because I worked under Amos Wako, who guided me well. So well that even at some point I was one of the speech writers. I would write on human rights. So he's a boss I celebrate, and he did not just teach me. Amos Wako was also the boss to the clerk, and all of you can attest to the professionalism that our clerk has. Boss, we recognize you and we celebrate you. I also want to celebrate Honorable Mudi Awori. Honorable Mudi Awori is, for me, that big political giant who is so humble and who is so approachable, who gives counsel to those of us, even now, up to now. He's very, very solid, despite the fact that he's 97, I think. and he's still able to give counsel to those of us. He's able to follow the politics that's going. Once in a while, he'll ask me, Catherine, what are you guys doing in that house? I want to celebrate him for what he has done. Of course, I'd like to celebrate Honorable Professor Julia Ojambo, who is a trailblazer, particularly in the women's movement, for firsts in the profession, firsts in politics, but also a great mentor who still, up to today, Honorable Julia Ojambo, Honorable Zipporah Kitonyi, many other women will sit and guide us and speak to us as women in politics, to guide us on how to move. We celebrate all of you, including, of course, Honorable Professor Christine Mango and the many others. Thank you, Senate, for this opportunity to celebrate these people from Busia.
Senator Consolata.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for according me this opportunity to join the distinguished senators to celebrate our sons and daughters of the soil. As one of the daughters of this soil, I also want to join, to jump on the bandwagon to congratulate our incredible heroes and heroines of the day on their outstanding accomplishments. We acknowledge your inspiration to some of us as you remain our examples, or rather role models. God bless you, God bless Kenya, God bless the Senate. Thank you, Bwana Speaker.
Senator Oburu Odenga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, sir, I take this opportunity to congratulate all my brothers and sisters, those who are alive and those who are gone, for their contributions to our nation and also to the great county of Busia. Mr. Speaker, sir, I know you have said the list was not comprehensive, so you did not mention some of them, like Fred Gumo and a few others. And Mr. Speaker, behind every successful man, there is a woman. And also likewise, behind every successful woman, there is a man. And Mr. Speaker, Professor Jambo. Professor Jambo, who is the husband, the late husband of Julia Ojambo, was a great scientist. He contributed immensely to the science of this country. He was a teacher, he was a doctor, he was everything. And Julia, I appreciate you very much, and your daughter who was also mentioned. But I also likewise would have liked to appreciate the professor, who was also your friend and your colleague and your very, very loving husband. Likewise, Dr. Mango, Christine Mango, was my colleague in Parliament. I want to appreciate her very much. She was very erudite in her contributions in Parliament. She was a very hardworking lady, and we were together in the same party. But let us not forget that she was also lying on the foundation of her husband, the late Mukasa Mango, who was also a member of Parliament of that constituency, where she became also a member of Parliament. And I would like to appreciate both of them for the contributions they have made to Kenya and also to this great county of Busia. I also want to take this opportunity, Mr. Speaker, to appreciate my colleague and friend, Amos Wako, who is almost my age mate, but we are in a club called the Firstborns. And I'm the chairman of the Firstborns, and he is the secretary of the Firstborns. We are also trustees of our great party of ODM, together with Amos Wako. I appreciate you, my brother, and continue. And he retired from Senate. Was not defeated. He just decided to retire because he thought he had served enough. So thank you very much, my brother, for your contributions, and all of you. Mukele, we used to work together when he was in ESC, the Electoral Commission. At that time, he worked also very diligently. I think many Kenyans know him for his honesty and straightforward contributions during the time he used to serve there. So I cannot mention all of you, but I know most of you. Some of you, we work together in Parliament. And thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for also appreciating our clerk, who is a very, very diligent and very hardworking person, very honest. And Mr. Speaker, thank you also for giving us this opportunity to appreciate our leaders. Thank you.
Senator Fernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. From the onset, I want to join my colleague in celebrating the great sons and daughters of this Busia county. And it looks like Busia, I've never known, but from the list you have read, Mr. Speaker, sir, it has one of the illustrious sons and daughters. Mr. Speaker, I'm honored to have served with Senator Amos Wako. Mr. Speaker, as you are aware, I was his chair, JLAC. Mr. Speaker, on a lighter touch, one Friday when I was in Nandi, he called on me press conference with Senator Orengo, castigating my leadership, but later they became loyal to my leadership as the chair of JLAC, and I want to celebrate him, Mr. Speaker, for that honor, Mr. Speaker, so that people like Senator Metu, who are young, can know what has been happening in this house. Mr. Speaker, I want to also equally and wish him well. Senator Wako is a man who follows each and every one of us, especially if he knows you personally. Professor Ujambo, we met her yesterday, Mr. Speaker, and we went into trends because I've never seen her in person, and I was able to greet her, and she gave us our blessings. Mukele, there is a gentleman who sang, Mama Mulaye, Mama Mulaye. But the gentleman, Mr. Speaker, we are proud. I've never seen him. I like the song, Mr. Speaker. I think this country in general, Mr. Speaker, is politics, arts and music, business, sports, women leadership. Mr. Speaker, I also know of Hilary Ngweno. I always follow him in his documentary that he has done across the country. And we are proud. May his soul rest in peace. Mr. Speaker, and there is a gentleman as a footballer. There is a guy called Mulamba. He used to play number 10, and JJ Masika, who played number 9, and they were the striker quartet. In fact, in number 10, Mulamba never lost any single penalty, Mr. Speaker. He used to do it with an eye of military marksman. He didn't miss any penalty in the history of football, Mr. Speaker. And of course, our own distinguished, the great son, Senator Lord Clerk Jeremiah Makoa Nyegenye, a fine gentleman, a humble gentleman, a professional gentleman. And I want to agree with colleagues that I hope when Clerk Jeremiah Nyegenye will retire, the great people of Busia should allow him to serve them in different capacity. But if they don't, if I become the president, Mr. Speaker, I can beg Jeremiah Nyegenye to continue advising me, Mr. Speaker, because I've realized if you want to be a successful president in this country, you must get ministers from Busia County. To Senator Okiya Mutata, we are proud of you, my brother. But if you want to succeed in 2032, please join President William Ruto so that we can finish the journey and allow you to continue serving in the spirit of two terms. Mr. Speaker, with that tremendous respect, I congratulate all of us and all the heroes and heroines of this county.
Now, honorable senators, we've done 1 hour on this particular business, so let us rest it at that. Next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
The Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today, Wednesday, the 8th of October, 2025. This is the National Treasury Economic Planning Annual Public Debt Management Report
for 2024-2025. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Senator Omtata, what intervention do you have? Certainly, it could not be a point of order.
I just want to bring some feedback from the ground on the conduct of the Senator Mashinani. First of all, the people of Busia are very, very grateful for the manner in which we have conducted ourselves and the impact it has had both on the economy and the conduct of the county government, the executive. However, there were some concerns that some key areas were being left out, and there was a request that the House considers looking at these areas. When they looked at the program that has been given out, we are missing out on health. There's no plan to visit any health facility. We are also missing out on programs in agriculture like FLOCA and stuff where there are many issues, climate change. There was also programs on issues of transport, the road network, and my questions of water in the county. So there was a request that the House considers maybe adjusting its program to cover this sensitive area so that the same impact that has been given to the other sectors that have been addressed could also go to these very, very critical sectors of the economy where the people really were expecting to fill the Senate Mashinani in. That's all, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, that's a very, the microphone has feedback. Mr. Speaker, that's a very valid and legitimate concern by our colleague Senator Omtata. To the best of my recollection, this will be a first one that will be doing Senate Mashinani without a visit to some of the things he has listed. For example, Mr. Speaker, you do know that health is such a critical function, Mr. Speaker. And to the best of my knowledge, every county that we've gone to, the Senate's Health Committee has visited at least the referral hospital, services, and maybe one dispensary, together with roads and water, Mr. Speaker. I don't know what the leadership of those committees, the Committee on Lands, Environment and Natural Resources with Water, and the Roads and Transport Committee and the Health Committee may have planned, Mr. Speaker. But I want just to agree with what Senator Omtata is saying, that the people of Busia will feel greatly underserved by our visit, Mr. Speaker, if we don't get to see firsthand what they experienced through the revolution. It will be unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, if we left Busia without our committees visiting those three key departments and installations. Therefore, I want to plead for your kind indulgence, Mr. Speaker, if you could listen to what Senator Omtata is saying and direct those committees, Mr. Speaker, to do so accordingly. I thank you.
Thank you. Now, Secretariat, see to it that you've accommodated the concerns of Senator Omtata within the remaining time that we have here. Next order. Questions and statements. Statement pursuant to Standing Order 52-1, the Honorable Edwin Sifuna to read a statement on behalf of Senator Crystal Asige. That statement is dropped. Request pursuant to Standing Order 53-1, Senator, again, Crystal Asige. That statement is dropped. Again, there's another statement by the Honorable Senator Crystal Asige. That statement is dropped. Senator for Nandi County, Senator Cherake.
Mr. Speaker, it is Senator Kiprotich Cherargei with the GEY, but I understand Mr. Speaker, request for statement on the brutal killing of 2 people and use of excessive force by police at Kimwani in Tindred constituency in Nandi County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs, and Human Rights on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the brutal killing of 2 people and the injuring of 6 others by police officers in Kimwani, Tindred sub-county, Nandi County. The incident arose from a land dispute between the local community and leaseholders of the Kimwani Agricultural Development ADC farm. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the circumstances that led to the killing of 2 people and injuring of the 6 others by police officers at Kimwani in Tindred sub-county in Nandi County. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, reasons why the police resorted to use of live bullets against unarmed civilians despite having prior information and even meeting the community the previous days instead of employing non-lethal means to de-escalate the situation. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, the actions, especially by Independent Policing Oversight Authority, that have taken against the police officers responsible for these extrajudicial killings, including details of the command chain in place and the reasons behind the alleged shoot to kill directive against my people and against innocent civilians in Tindred sub-county in Nandi County. Mr. Speaker, and finally, a comprehensive report on the actions taken jointly by the Ministry of Lands, Physical Planning, and the Ministry of National Interior as a multi-agency intervention to establish a long-term mechanisms for resolving the land dispute at Kimwani, Tindred constituency, Nandi County. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator from Ranga County, Honorable John Newton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a request for a statement on the implementation of Governor Kangata's healthcare insurance program in Ranga County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of countywide concern regarding the implementation of the health insurance program dubbed Kangata Care, and specifically, Mr. Speaker, details relating to a payment of Kenya shillings 172 million by Kangata Care to Social Health Authority, SHA. Mr. Speaker, the governor from Ranga County launched Kangata Care Health Insurance Program in 2023 to provide affordable medical cover to vulnerable households in the county. The scheme, which is a partnership between the county government and Britam Insurance, pools resources to provide inpatient, outpatient, maternity, and last expense benefits to enrolled households, with the county government paying an annual premium per family. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the number of households currently covered under Kangata Care and the number of individuals covered per household under the Kenya shillings 172 million paid to SHA. 2, the number of last expense claims paid through the defunct National Health Insurance Fund, NHIF, and the number of claims that remained outstanding under NHIF at the time of its dissolution. 3, the amount of the county government, the amount the county government caters for per household under Kangata Care, including details of who bore the costs of last expense payments between the county government and the defunct NHIF. 4, the details of the agreement between the county government and Britam Insurance on covering last expenses and any other benefits provided under Kangata Care. And number 5, Mr. Speaker, whether the scheme is continuous for consecutive years or renewable annually with a new registration for the insured, and whether there is an age limit for those covered under the scheme. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, before I call the next senator to request for a statement, I have this communication to make. I'd like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon, visiting teachers and students from St. Joseph Cocholio Boys Second School in Teso North, Busia County. The delegation consists of 5 teachers and 47 students. Now, honorable senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation, and on behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I will request the Senator for Busia County under 1 minute to extend a word of welcome.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you for the opportunity. The word is Kocholia, the school from Teso North. Yeah, there are students and teachers, you are most welcome. And you have come on a very, very special day when we are basically reading out the roll of fame of who is who in Busia. And so you should be inspired to follow that role model, those role models, and be the best you can be. All of you have the potential to be very good citizens, to contribute immensely to this country, but the route is through your studies. You must work hard at your studies and make sure that you become the best you can be. And so feel welcome. You are experiencing a historical moment. It might take another 47 years before you have Senate Mashinani in Busia. So make sure you make good use of this opportunity. And also, if Mr. Speaker allows, my younger brother here from Bungoma, who is nearer Kocholia than this Busia is, he could make some remarks with the permission of the Speaker. But most welcome.
Who is this young brother of yours? Honorable Sifuna, would you wish to also extend a word of welcome to the young ones? You may proceed.
Thank you, Speaker, and the Honorable Okio Mtata for the honor of saying a word of welcome to our young brothers from Teso. Welcome to the Senate. It's a privilege for you to experience this. I'm hoping that you get to see all your favorite senators. I'm sure you already have because I'm here. But get to interact with them as well and to learn from them. And we're hoping that we have future senators sitting in the gallery today. Honorable Speaker, I have heard stories from the current governor of Embu. Past experience with politics was actually in a gallery at the parliament in Nairobi, and it inspired her journey, and she's now a governor. So I'm sure that there are future leaders sitting here this afternoon. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Now, Honorable Sifuna, having explained your absence to the satisfaction of the chair, I do reinstate the statements by Senator Crystal Asige. You may therefore proceed to read those statements.
Indeed, Honorable Speaker, apologies, I came in late. We had a presentation of candidates today, and for the by-elections, I was in Kasipul in the company of the Senator for Homa Bay, and I came in late. I had been requested to read these statements on behalf of the nominated Senator Crystal Asige. There are 3 statements, Honorable Speaker, and with your kind permission, I would like to take all of them together. The first one is on the status and the future of the Kenya School of Revenue Administration. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education on a matter of national concern on the status and future of the Kenya School of Revenue Administration, KESRA. In the statement, the committee should address the following. First, whether the Kenya Revenue Authority or the National Treasury has made any formal decision to suspend admissions to or close the Kenya School of Revenue Administration, outlining the legal, policy, or administrative justification for such a decision. Number 2, the reasons for the cancellation of the September 2025 intake, including the Advanced Diploma in Tax Administration course, indicating the expected date for the next intake and whether the 2026 academic calendar has been released. Thirdly, whether admissions to KESRA remain open to the general public, including certified public accountant graduates, or whether new eligibility criteria have been introduced, and if so, cite the statutory and policy basis for these changes. Fourth, whether KESRA or KRA has issued any official communication regarding changes in admission policy, suspension of intakes or closure, and respond to claims suggesting that access may have been restricted to a select group. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, the institutional, professional, and public service implications of limiting access to KESRA and the measures, consultations, and oversight mechanisms in place to safeguard its mandate as a public institution that is equitably accessible to all qualified Kenyans. I don't know if we have any tissues. Do you have any tissues? Honorable Speaker, it's a bit hot.
Yeah, Honorable Senator be assisted with some tissue paper.
It's a bit hot, and I've come from a rally, so I think it's...
I think it's the meal you've consumed because we are in the same environment. And, it's something. It is something that must have.
Speaker, lawyers only sweat during the consumption of the meal, not after.
It may be in liquid form.
Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Speaker, protect me from Cherargei. The second statement is on the commemoration of Dyslexia Awareness Month. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52.1 to make a statement on a matter of international concern, namely the commemoration of Dyslexia Awareness Month. Mr. Speaker, every October, the world observes Dyslexia Awareness Month as part of the international neurodiversity movement. This is not only an opportunity to promote accessibility and inclusivity for persons with dyslexia and low literacy, but also to celebrate their creativity, resilience, and invaluable contributions to society. Dyslexia was first identified in 1881 by German physician Oswald Bachan and later named in 1887 by ophthalmologist Rudolf Berlin, has since been widely studied in medical, scientific, and educational research. Institutions such as the International Dyslexia Association have played a key role in raising awareness, developing learning tools, and introducing structured interventions to support learners. This global call resonates deeply in Kenya, where the Dyslexia Organization of Kenya has sounded the alarm that 60% of children in grade 5 to 8 cannot read at grade level. Of this, 15 to 20% silently grapple with hidden learning difficulties such as dyslexia, while 62% of high school dropouts leave school with undiagnosed reading challenges. These figures are not mere abstractions. They expose a continuing violation of Article 43, Subarticle 1F of the Constitution, which guarantees the right to education, and they equally offend Article 27, which enshrines equality and non-discrimination. Learners with disabilities remain unfairly denied equal opportunities in clear breach of these constitutional safeguards. This is precisely the injustice I have consistently fought against, and is why the Persons with Disabilities Act 2025, through sections 4, subsection I, 5C, and 20, must not only be acknowledged but be fully implemented. These provisions impose a binding duty on the state to eliminate discrimination, ensure equal access, and guarantee the full enjoyment of rights by all persons with disabilities, including those with learning, psychological, and other invisible impairments. Mr. Speaker, invisible disabilities unfortunately remain among the most misunderstood aspects of disability rights in Kenya. As Vice Chairperson of the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare, I have had to address this matter upon receiving a petition from a Kenyan living with an invisible disability. Conditions such as schizophrenia and dyslexia are too often mischaracterized as madness, curses, or weaknesses, leading to exclusion, abuse, and denial of opportunity. The United Nations has documented how persons with invisible disabilities face stigma, forced institutionalization, and lack of access to appropriate care. Historically, policymakers have reduced such conditions to mere illness, overlooking their disability dimension, which the UN rightly recognizes as psychosocial disability. Unless we address this gap through education, policy reform, and legislation, including the full implementation of the Persons with Disabilities Act 2025, we will continue to fail a significant portion of our population. Mr. Speaker, it is therefore imperative that Kenya move decisively towards a dyslexia-friendly and disability-inclusive education system, one that understands, accommodates, and respects learning differences and invisible disabilities. My Learners with Disabilities Bill, which is Senate Bill number 4 of 2023, provides a comprehensive legal and institutional framework to achieve this vision. It seeks to eliminate discrimination, guarantee equal access, facilitate smooth educational transitions, and harmonize our laws with international standards. Critically, it expressly covers hidden learning difficulties such as dyslexia, thereby plugging a long-standing legislative gap. Mr. Speaker, the most meaningful way to commemorate Dyslexia Awareness Month is to conclude debate on the Learners with Disabilities Bill and for this House to pass it without delay. Awareness must translate into action. By enacting this bill and ensuring the teachers are properly trained to identify and support learners with hidden difficulties, we will not only safeguard rights, but also restore confidence and unlock the full potential of every child. Mr. Speaker, I invite colleagues in this House to support the commendable efforts of the Dyslexia Organization of Kenya, whose mission is to empower individuals with dyslexia to realize their full potential. This year, they are marking Dyslexia Awareness Month with two key activities. Number one, the Neuro Inclusion Gala Dinner, which will be held on 3rd of October 2025, and the Neuro Inclusion Tree Planting Hike on 18th of October, each at a ticket price of Kenya shillings 10,000. I urge senators, led by the majority leader, to support these initiatives in cash or in kind as a demonstration that this House does not merely legislate for inclusion, but also actively stands with persons with dyslexia and other hidden disabilities in our society. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Lastly, I wish I had taken them in order. There is a final one, Honorable Speaker, which is a request for statement pursuant to Standing Order 53. 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on a matter of national concern regarding the continued charging of medical assessment fees to persons with disabilities. Section 25C of the Persons with Disabilities Act 2025 mandates free rehabilitation, and medical services in public health institutions for persons with disabilities. However, many county hospitals, Honorable Speaker, have continued to impose non-uniform fees such as the Kenya shillings 700 that is charged by Nakuru County, 650 shillings by Laikipia, 1,000 shillings in Kisumu, and up to 10,000 Kenya shillings for specialized tests, while only a few counties such as Kakamega, Kiambu, Mombasa, and Kirinyaga have waived these charges. These practices contravene the Act and amount to discrimination under Articles 27 and 54 of the Constitution. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number one, measures that have been taken by the Ministry of Health, the Council of Governors, and the National Council for Persons with Disabilities to fast-track compliance so that all counties provide disability assessments and related services free of charge, as provided for under Section 25C of the PWD's Act. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, the reasons why counties continue to impose varying charges and how the compliance framework will eliminate such disparities. Thirdly, a list of counties that have complied by waiving charges and steps to ensure uniform nationwide compliance. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, the enforcement and accountability mechanisms by NCPWD, the Ministry of Health, and oversight bodies to guarantee that counties comply and PWDs are not subjected to unfair financial burdens and barriers. I thank you. This is on behalf of the Senator Crystal Asige, nominated Senator by ODM.
Okay, next is two statements from the Senator for Kisumu County, Professor Tom Ojeda. The two statements are dropped. You did not notify the table. Why didn't you communicate? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, we're in the League of City Senators, so if I read it on behalf of Kisumu, it's okay. Mr. Speaker, I request for a statement on the ongoing police recruitment. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations on a matter of national importance regarding the ongoing police recruitment exercise. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number one, disaggregated report on the ethnic and county composition of serving police officer as at the 30th of September 2025, indicating the cadres and ranks. Number 2, the criteria, quotas, methodologies applied in the ongoing recruitment, and how it will ensure proportional representation of the underrepresented ethnic communities and counties, including measures of dynamic balancing to prevent overrepresentation and to account for the existing composition in each county. Number 3, the extent of county involvement in planning, monitoring, and coordinating the recruitment, specifically on how county governments and local security structures are consulted and integrated into deployment decisions, and the mechanisms used to monitor ethnic, county, and gender representation in recruitment and deployment. Number 4, the framework for deploying newly recruited officers in a manner that guarantees equitable county and ethnic representation while addressing local security needs. Number 5, the steps being undertaken to achieve gender parity alongside ethnic and county equity in the recruitment process. Signed, Professor Tom Ojenda, Senator, Kisumu County. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next is Senator Mohamed Chute.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I have a request for a statement on the reported abduction of Mr. Jilo Guyoboru in Sololo, Marsabit County. The Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to request a statement from Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations regarding the reported abduction of Mr. Jilo Guyoboru, a 47-year-old laboratory technician attached to Dambalafachana Health Center in Marsabit County. Mr. Speaker, sir, it has been brought to my attention that on 22nd September 2025, Mr. Boru was allegedly abducted at Sololo Garbi village, an incident that was subsequently reported at Sololo police station under OB number 06/23/09/25. It is alleged that the victim was forcibly bundled into a white probox while his motorcycle was loaded into a GK-plated Land Cruiser by 6 men dressed in civilian clothes. This is raising a grave concern among residents regarding the identity and motive of the abductors. The statement, the committee should, 1, establish whether the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration is aware of the incident involving abduction of Mr. Jilo Guyoboru and provide details of the circumstances surrounding his disappearance. 2, confirm whether the vehicle reported used in the abduction, a white Toyota Probox and a GK-plated Land Cruiser, are linked to any government agency or law enforcement body. 3, state what steps the ministry has taken to investigate the matter, trace the whereabouts of the missing individual, and ensure that those responsible are held accountable. Number 4, Honorable Speaker, outline measures being taken by the ministry to enhance the overall safety and security of residents in Marsabit County. Considering that this is not the first such incident of abduction or forced disappearance reported in the region. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Next is Senator Okia Omtata. The 2 statements, you can read them simultaneously.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I was given 3, not 2 statements. I pray that I read all of them. Mr. Speaker, my first statement, request for statement, is on the illegal gold mining activities in Bumutero in Busia County, Ramula in Siaya County, and Rosterman in Kakamega County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, Clause 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a matter of nationwide concern regarding the persistent illegal gold mining activities that take place in Bumutiru in Busia County, Ramula in Siaya County, and Rosterman in Kakamega County that flagrantly violate Kenya's mining and environmental laws, placing citizens in grave danger. Mr. Speaker, sir, illegal artisanal small-scale gold mining is occurring day and night in Busia, Siaya, and Kakamega counties. In Bumutiru, unlicensed miners produce an estimated 1 kilogram of gold per day, estimated to be worth Kenya shillings 10 million, which is sold mainly through illicit channels that lead to economic loss due to massive revenue leakage as high-purity gold is smuggled to foreign markets. In Rosterman, tunnels have been driven beneath homes and a special needs school, undermining foundations and forcing parents to withdraw children. In Ramula, communities face intimidation and potential displacement linked to opaque agreements with private miners, such as Shanta Gold Limited. Collapsing tunnels and toxic exposure have already caused injuries and deaths, as well as mercury contamination of soil and water, destruction of farmlands, and loss of biodiversity. In the statement, the committee should address the following: how the Ministry of Mining and Blue Economy is ensuring compliance with the Mining Community Development Agreement regulations of 2017, especially the requirement for free, prior, and informed community consent. 2, existing monitoring and remediation plan for mercury contamination of soil and water sources in places affected by illegal gold mining activities. 3, plans to commission detailed airborne and ground mapping to quantify mineral resources across the country. 4, specific bylaws or enforcement measures that the county governments have adopted to regulate artisanal mining and protect residents, including measures to safeguard livelihoods of affected communities and protect and/or rehabilitate public infrastructure, such as schools like St. Joseph's Bumutiru, Bumutiru RC Primary, and Kakamega Vocational Rehabilitation Center, and homes undermined by tunnels. 5, the intelligence and/or patrol operations in place to stop smuggling of high purity gold reportedly moving across borders. 6, reasons for lack of involvement of the residents of Ramula, Bumutiru, and Rosterman in the Shanta Gold Limited dealings as required under Article 10, Clause 2, and Article 232, Clause 1, Paragraph D of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, and the Mining Community Development Agreement Regulations 2017. 7, steps the said county governments are taking to safeguard customary land rights, especially for residents lacking formal titles. Signed, Senator Omtato Koiti MP, Senator Busia County, Senator Koma Busia County, or Senator from Busia County, dated 30th September 2025. Thank you for the guidance. My second request for statement is on the stalled irrigation and water supply projects in Busia County.
Sorry, Senator Mutata, first reading the other one on the directing to the Justice, Legal and Affairs Committee. The other one you first approved the table.
This one on the East African Community, East African Court of Justice. Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm guided. My next request for a statement is on the nomination of a female judge to the East African Court of Justice, EACJ. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, Clause 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs, and Human Rights on a matter of regional concern regarding the need for Kenya to have a nominated female judge to the East African Court of Justice. Mr. Speaker, sir, the court, as the judicial arm of the East African community, plays a critical role in ensuring adherence to the law in the interpretation and application of the East African Community Treaty. Following the resignation of Justice Charles Ayako Nyachae after 7 years of service, Kenya nominated Dr. Zabron Muruka Mukau. However, this nomination was annulled by the High Court for non-compliance with Article 172, Clause 1, Paragraph A of the Constitution of Kenya. It is worth noting that since the inception of the court, only 2 Kenyan female judges have been appointed, being Lady Justice Arachi in 2006 and Lady Justice Mujasiri, who currently serves in the appellate division of the court. This reflects a glaring underrepresentation of women in such critical regional judicial positions, despite constitutional principles on gender equity and fairness. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the reasons for the persistent underrepresentation of Kenyan women in regional judicial appointments. 2, measures being taken by the Judicial Service Commission and the Office of the Attorney General to ensure gender equity in nominations to such positions. 3, the steps being taken to guarantee that the next nomination to the East African Court of Justice will prioritize a qualified Kenyan female judge in line with the constitutional requirement and regional balance. Signed, Senator Omtato Koiti MP, Senator from Busia County, 30th September 2025.
The other one first approach the table, then as we proceed with other statements. Because it's not on my record, so first approach the table. It's under. Oh, yes, proceed, Senator Mtata, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. My third request for a statement is on the stalled irrigation and water supply projects in Busia County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, Clause 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Lands, Environment, and Natural Resources on a matter of county-wide concern regarding several key irrigation and water supply projects in Busia County that remain stalled, incomplete, or severely underperforming despite significant public investments. Mr. Speaker, sir, Busia County hosts several high-value public projects intended to boost food security, irrigation, and safe water supply, including Sisenye Irrigation Scheme, Bunyala Irrigation Scheme with Lower Nzoia Project Expansion, the Lower Sio Irrigation Project, the Nasewa Irrigation Park, and the Busia Hills Port Victoria Water Supply. Despite billions of shillings in combined county, national, and international funding, most of these projects have stalled, been vandalized, or are grossly underutilized. Repeated delays in land acquisition, weak coordination between agencies, and inadequate asset protection have left irrigation canals idle, water systems unfinished, and critical infrastructure at risk of becoming white elephant investments. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, itemized annual allocation and expenditures and project history of all listed projects from the year 2010 to date, detailing budget allocations, disbursements, contractors engaged, and work completed versus outstanding. 2, the total amounts lost to idle time or cost overruns, and specify reasons for delays and incidents of vandalism. 3, measures being taken to secure, rehabilitate, and operationalize the Sisenye, Bunyala, Lower Nzoia, and Lower Sewer irrigation schemes, as well as the Busia Hills / Port Victoria water supply to restore functionality and deliver the intended agricultural and social benefits to Busia residents. 4, mechanisms to address the coordination between the county and national governments regarding synergy among irrigation schemes and the Nasewa County Aggregation Industrial Park, and contingency plans to supply the park with produce while irrigation systems are restored. 5, timelines and accountability frameworks to ensure full compliance with the Public Finance Management Act of 2012 and the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act of 2015, and to protect public assets from further loss. Signed, Senator Mtato Koiti MP, Senator from Busia County, 30th September 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Under Senator Mtata, I have a communication to make on visiting students from Arupe University in Busia County. Honorable Senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of visiting 6 students from Arupe University in Teso South, Busia County. The delegation is in the Senate for last standing tour. Honorable Senators, in our ancient tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend our welcome to the delegation, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. Thank you. Senator Okoiti Mtata, you are too busy this week. You continue serving the good county of Busia. Under 1 minute.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I thank you very much, and it's good that you have students from Alupe University here. Alupe is just a few kilometers as the crow flies from here, and I welcome you to this session. It's a historical session, as I've told those who came in before you. It might take another 47 years for us to have another Senate Mashinani in Busia. So take your time, serve at the moment, and also look at the senators here, and you'll see that the people have traveled different journeys, but what matters is that at the end of the day, it's the cream that rises to the top. So work hard to be the cream in your studies, and today we had a roll of honor that was read out here about people from Busia who have worked well and succeeded. And I know you know Alupe is a national university, so it has representation from beyond Busia. And I also would say that Busia town was designed to be a university town. That's why the Agricultural Training Center has a very, very big piece of land. And with Alupe and others, we hope these universities will come up and will not be distorted by fly-by-the-night planners who are trying to come up with the alternative means to this. But all said and done, I thank you for coming and for honoring our presence here with your presence, and I wish you a good stay, and I hope that you'll have a lot to carry home with you, but most of all, an example to be the best you can be. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. We have 2 statements, and Standing Order 52-1, one by Senator Mohamed Faki.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Statement on the ongoing strike by academic staff in public university. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52-1 to make a statement on a matter of national concern, namely the ongoing strike by the academic staff in public university. Mr. Speaker, sir, on Monday, on my way to Busia with Senator Issa Boy, we stopped by Maseno University along the Kisumu-Busia highway to pay a courtesy call on Dr. Esha Faki Mwenyehaji, a senior lecturer at the institution. While there, we were privileged to be taken around the university by Professor Julius Nyabundi, the Vice Chancellor, and Professor Eric Nyambitha, the Vice and Deputy Vice Chancellors of the university. Mr. Speaker, sir, we encountered firsthand the effects of the ongoing strike by university lecturers who are members of the University Staff Academic Union, UASU. The union members, both male and female, were demonstrating clad in deras as they demanded payment of the salary increment arrears. It was also quite a spectacle to see male lecturers donned in deras, a traditional female dress. However, they made their point that they will not go back to teach until they are paid their arrears. Mr. Speaker, sir, UASU is demanding payment of a sum of Kenya shilling 7.9 billion. While we acknowledge that the government may not have money to pay all that at once, they can enter into negotiations with UASU on how the amount will be paid. And as it stands, the students are suffering, yet they are paid tuition, which is currently not being offered. Further, if urgent measures are not taken to resolve the impasse, academic programs will be completely disorganized across the affected institutions. Mr. Speaker, sir, I call upon the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare and the Standing Committee on Education to jointly intervene in this matter and find an urgent solution to the crisis. As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to commend the management of Maseno University currently under the leadership of Professor Nyabundi for the remarkable progress made over the years. The university has experienced substantial growth, increasing student enrollment from approximately 2,500 in 2014 to the current population of 29,704, and establishing satellite campuses in Kisumu City and Yala Town in Siaya County. This growth has spurred economic activity in Maseno Town and contributed to the increased revenue for Kisumu County, which in turn reinforces the objectives of devolution by promoting regional development and enhancing service delivery at the county level. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Izina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I have a statement on behalf of the chairperson of Kenya Women Senators Association. As the vice chair, I am the honor to present this statement before the House. The statement is on early teenage pregnancy, sexual and gender-based violence in Busia County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to the Standing Order 52.1 to make a statement on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the rising cases of early teenage pregnancies and sexual and gender-based violence in Busia County. Mr. Speaker, sir, according to statistics from the National Syndemic Disease Control Council, NSDCC, between 2016 and 2024, 65,540 teenage pregnancies were recorded among adolescents in Busia County. In 2024 alone, 4,542 cases were reported, with Samia sub-county registering the highest rate in the country. Nationally, a total of 47,632 cases were recorded in the same year. Teenage pregnancies remain one of the biggest barriers to girls' education and empowerment. It denies young girls the opportunity to complete their basic education and achieve economic independence. Many of these girls suffer serious health complications, including maternal and morbidity and mortality, and face increased risk of contracting HIV and other sexually transmitted infections. Socially and economically, early pregnancy leads to school dropouts, loss of self-esteem, and intergenerational circles of poverty. Mr. Speaker, sir, alongside teenage pregnancy, the scourge for sexual and gender-based violence continues to devastate adolescents across Kenya. Between 2016 and 2024, 2,884 cases of SGBV were reported among adolescents in Busia County, rising sharply from 66 cases in 2016 to 480 cases in 2024. Adolescents now account for 23% of all reported SGBV cases. Moreover, between 2017 and 2024, 171 girls became pregnant as a result of defilement. Nationally, the number of SGBV cases reported in 2024 stood at 47,632,000. These statistics underscore the urgent need for collective action to protect young girls from the intersecting threats of sexual violence and early pregnancy. Mr. Speaker, sir, the legal framework to safeguard children and punish offenders is robust. It includes the Constitution of Kenya, Article 53, the Children Act 2022, the Sexual Offences Act 2006, the Basic Education Act 2013, the Marriage Act 2014, and the Counter Trafficking in Persons Act of 2010. The penalties for offenders are equally stringent. They range from 1, life imprisonment for defiling a child aged 11 years or below. Secondly, a minimum of 20 years for defilement of a child aged 12 to 15 years. Thirdly, a minimum of 15 years for defilement of a child aged 16 to 18 years. And last but not least, at least 10 years for attempted defilement. However, Mr. Speaker, sir, despite these laws and penalties, enforcement remains slow and inconsistent. The judiciary must be more expeditious and resolute in applying these provisions to ensure justice for victims and deter potential offenders. Justice delayed only emboldens perpetrators and further victimizes the survivors. Victims of these heinous crimes must also receive adequate support and compensation. The government should ensure that affected girls are reintegrated into the education system and supported to achieve their aspirations. Equally, infants born to these teenage mothers deserve access to basic needs, healthcare, and future education opportunities. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Kenya Women Senators Association has committed itself to leading by example and will soon introduce legislation in this House aimed at protecting victims and ending the scourge of SGBV. The proposed legislation will seek to 1, establish and adequately fund safe spaces and shelters to protect victims, especially where perpetrators are family members. Secondly, create a compensation and reparation system requiring offenders to make restitution to victims. Thirdly, ensure proper collection and preservation of forensic evidence by the police to aid in prosecutions. Fourth, to develop a bilateral agreement with Uganda to repatriate cross-border offenders for trial. Fifth, to introduce video link and recorded testimonies to protect victims and witnesses from intimidation. And last but not least, outlaw kangaroo courts handling SGBV and early pregnancy cases, ensuring due process and fair justice. Mr. Speaker, sir, in conclusion, the statistics before us serve as a call to action. Laws alone are not enough. Enforcement, public awareness, and community involvement are key. KEWOSA will spearhead a national awareness campaign to educate and sensitize victims on the dangers of teen pregnancy and SGBV, encouraging communities to speak up, protect the girl child, and demand accountability. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of Senator Veronica Maina, nominated senator, and the chairperson of Kenya Women Senators, thank you.
Last but not the least is the Statement and standing on the 56-1. Senator Mohamed Faki. You brought me a statement here from Kwale. There is an issue in Kwale. Okay. Honorable Senators, if you realize it's now almost going to 5 and we are still on statements. Senator Maruma, since I did give you an opportunity in the morning, maybe I give you now.
Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa hii fursa umenipa ili kuchangia hii taarifa na Senator wa Murang'a, Senator Joe Nyutu, kuhusu utekelezwaji wa Kang'ata Care. Mheshimiwa Spika, nashukuru sana gavana wa jimbo la Murang'a kwa kuleta huu mfumo mzuri sana ambao unaleta ushirikiano kati ya serikali ya kaunti na SHA. Tumeambiwa katika ile taarifa na Mheshimiwa Nyutu ya kwamba jimbo ama gatuzi la Murang'a limeweza kushirikiana na SHA na kutoa kima cha shilingi milioni 172 inayopelekea kuandikishwa kwa wananchi ama wakazi wa jimbo la Murang'a. Nafikiri Mheshimiwa Spika, ni vizuri tushukuru Mheshimiwa Gavana Irungu Kang'ata kwa kukubali kufikiria, kwa kutoogopa kufikiria, kwa sababu magavana wengi wanaogopa kufikiria. Mheshimiwa Spika, tayari SHA iko na kando na changamoto, ni vizuri serikali za magatuzi ziangalie ni vipi wanaweza saidia watu wao ili kupata huduma za afya kutumia huu mfumo wa SHA. Mheshimiwa, nafikiri gavana aliangalia watu wake na akachagua na katafuta mbinu za kutafuta wale ambao hawajiwezi na kuweza kuandikishwa kwa huu mfumo wa SHA. Wakati wa bunge lile lingine tulielezwa kwamba kuna mfumo kama huu ambao ulianzishwa tayari kule gatuzi la Makueni, ya kwamba county ama serikali ya county inalipa pesa kidogo kwa insurance, alafu watu wanachukua kadi, wanapewa kadi na wanaenda hospitalini wanapata matibabu. Kwa hivyo nashukuru huyu gavana kwa kuchukua hiyo nafasi ama fursa ya kushirikiana na SHA ili kusaidia wale wananchi wa Murang'a ambao hawajiwezi. Senator Nyutu naye amefanya kazi yake ya kusema basi kamati ya seneti inayohusika na mambo ya afya wapige msasa na kuangalia kwamba ile shilingi milioni 172 inatumika vizuri ili kupea huduma za afya wale wananchi wa Murang'a. Mheshimiwa Spika, SHA inakumbwa na changamoto si haba na ni vizuri serikali iangalie zile changamoto, na sana sana pia kuna shida ambayo inaletwa na magatuzi. Kwa mfano, wafanyi kazi wa serikali ambao wanalipa SHA, lakini kwa sababu serikali za county hawapeleki zile deductions ama zile pesa za wafanyikazi kwa SHA, basi wale wafanyikazi wa county hawapati huduma. Mfano mzuri ni kule kwetu Taita Taveta, unapata wahudumu wa afya ambao wanapeana afya kwa wananchi wengine, madaktari, wauguzi, wamelipa SHA lakini hawapati huduma ya SHA ya afya kwa sababu serikali haijatoa ile pesa na kuipeleka kwa SHA. Pia Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna kama walimu ambao wamekatwa SHA tayari na wamelipa SHA na kujiandikisha kwa mfumo wa SHA, lakini SHA yenyewe imesema kwamba haipatii huduma kwa walimu kwa SHA, wanatumia ile insurance yao ambao wamepewa na TSC. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa kusema kwamba ni vizuri vile gavana wa Murang'a amefanya, na magavana wengine pia wasikatae kufikiria watumie hii chance ama huu muda ili waandikishe wananchi wao kwa SHA ili wapate afya. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, nipatie fursa tu kwa sababu kunipa muda asubuhi ya kuchangia pia ile taarifa ya Mheshimiwa Chute kuhusu kutekwa nyara kwa Jilo Guyo ambaye ni muuguzi aliyetekwa nyara kutumia gari la Probox na pikipiki yake, Mheshimiwa Spika, kuwekwa kwa gari la serikali. Mheshimiwa Spika, tunapinga hiki kitendo cha kuteka nyara huyu muuguzi kwa kinywa kipana sana, Mheshimiwa Spika, na tuseme kwamba asasi za serikali zipate kufanya uchunguzi, Mheshimiwa Spika, ili ujulikane Jilo Guyo alienda wapi. Huyu ni mtu ambaye anafanya kazi, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kenya tuko huru na haijulikani ni kwa nini mtu ambaye anataka kulindwa na serikali ili atoe huduma za hospitali anatekwa nyara, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hivyo nashukuru Senator Chute kwa kuleta hii taarifa. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Senator Mudi.
Okay, asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipa nafasi niweze kuchangia mjadala unaendelea wa yale mambo inaendelea katika Kenya, na unga mkono statement ambaye ni ya Senator wa Mombasa kuhusu mambo ya elimu mgomo ulioko. Bwana Spika, mambo ya ajabu, mambo ya wale walimu wanafundisha watoto wetu wa university kumekuwa na shinda pia wa polytechnic, kwa sababu mimi mwenye kamati ya lepa na kumekuwa na shinda kwa sababu nakumbuka mambo ya pending bill imeleta shinda, na pia mambo ya retirement pesa unakuta juu ya pending bill pesa ikipeanwa haitoshi. Kwa hiyo ningeomba kuwe na makao mazuri ya serikali na mambo ya walimu wa university ndio waweze kuangalia vile pending bill itapatikana na vile wataweza kupata pesa zao, kwa sababu kama sasa mambo ya serikali imepeana pesa vile watoto wataenda shule, na saa hii sasa naye walimu wako nje. Ni kitu ambaye haiwezi kufanya vizuri, kwa sababu ile pesa inatumika kwa wale watoto na wale walimu ni ile pesa ambaye sisi tunalipa tax. Kwa hiyo Bwana Spika, ningeomba hii mambo iweze kulainishwa pamoja na waweze kutafuta kikao waweze kukaa. Bwana Spika, pia nachangia mambo ya statement ambaye ni ya irrigation. Mimi ni mwenyekiti wa kamati wa agriculture. Ile mambo iko hapa, ningeomba Bwana Spika, mambo ya agriculture iweze kuangaliwa, mambo ya ile miradi ya zamani iweze kuvuliwa, ndio mwananchi kama ni watoto wetu wale wamemaliza chuo kikuu ama watu wote wamerudi kwa masambani. Kwa hiyo serikali kuu iweze kupatia pesa county government, naso county government zote iweze kufanya njia ile nafaa, ndio pia hiyo miradi iweze kuendelea vizuri. Nikimaliza nakumbuka tulikuwa pale public participation, hiyo naongea kwa sababu ya governor wa Busia. Shule kikuu ile iko karibu hapa walilalamika kwa sababu hawana stima security. Kwa hiyo ningeomba governor wa Busia pahali alipo aende alipe pesa ya security, ndio watoto wetu wasichana na wanaume waache kuteseka. Kwa hiyo Bwana Spika, naunga hizo mbili mkono. Asante Bwana Spika.
Sauti yako kweli imemfikia mahali yako, sababu ilikuwa mzuri, ilikuwa sauti mzuri. Senators, just take 2 minutes to just make a very brief comment so that we can progress to the next business, please. Senator Eddie.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether you have noticed that there is no transmission, but I hope we are live outside the chambers if the monitors have the problem, because Senator Cherage would want to be sure that his people are seeing it when he's here. But Mr. Speaker, first of all, let me condemn what has happened in Sololo, and it is high time that we should not be dealing with abductions again. The issue of Jilo Guyo, who has been abducted in Sololo, must be an issue of emergency, and thank you, Senator Chute, for bringing it up. There is nothing to beg about this. We are past abductions of our people in our country, and this issue must be dealt with urgency. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to quickly comment on the statement by Senator Kio Mtata on the issue of irrigation. Mr. Speaker, I'm actually glad that you are seated there because the last Senate Mashinani that we had in Turkana. And remember that when we went to Turkana, Katilu irrigation scheme was actually stalled. If you remember, it was not optimally operating. And this was because of NIA constantly not allowing resources to go to these irrigation schemes. In Migori County, Mr. Speaker, you will see that the irrigation scheme called Kuja, Lower Kuja, is stuck. I think it is long time this Senate commissions an inquiry process, a special audit on NIA and the projects that we are doing of irrigation, because it seems like NIA is not even paying those who have created way leaves for creation of this irrigation scheme, so that there are battles in court that keep on being endless. We must be able to address this issue. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to comment on the issue of artisanal mining, Mr. Speaker. There's a problem in terms of standards that have been established, Mr. Speaker, that I think that the relevant CS should be forced to make sure that there is standard in this in the mining sector, Mr. Speaker, because even in Migori, where I come from, Mr. Speaker, there are no proper gears for who are there. There is use of mercury that is killing people even in the rivers in Migori County. Right now, even in Kehancha, there is the same problem that you see St. Ramukia's put here. The issue of pricing, Mr. Speaker. People are, the minerals are taken away by
the time. Want more time, request for more time. Don't bring other. Just 30 seconds, please.
Mr. Speaker, I was saying that the mines that we have in Kehancha is the same as the mines that we're seeing here in Masara. Even near my home, a place called Kabanabas, Mr. Speaker, there is mines that have come there for gold. But the problem is that outsiders are controlling price and they're controlling equipment. It's high time the ministry comes with the relevant equipment to equip these artisanal miners and bring about standards of mining that can be able to empower our people. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Leader of the majority party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just have a quick comment on this question by the senator from Muranga, Senator Joe Nyutu. While it's commendable, like Senator Maruma says, for county governments to partner with the Social Health Authority to provide health insurance for their public servants, and I think that ought to be the way of many county governments. I'm just concerned about the naming of this program. Mr. Speaker, we must discourage county governors from this juvenile behavior of naming county programs after themselves. It's a silly antic in my own humble opinion, Mr. Speaker. If there were people who would want to name county projects after themselves, then it would be senators, Mr. Speaker, because we are the ones who haggle around with the sharks from the other house, Mr. Speaker, to get the funding to send to counties. Then somebody goes and names the program after themselves. I believe a diligent, hard-working governor like Kangata should endeavor to build programs and institutions in the county that will outlive his time as a governor. And that cannot be achieved by naming programs after yourself, Mr. Speaker. So when that matter is considered, I believe that matter, that the issue of the naming of those programs, Mr. Speaker, should be considered alongside that other petition that we considered on naming of county infrastructure and programs and the use of pictures of governors and MCAs in billboards, Mr. Speaker. It is a conduct which we shouldn't encourage in public infrastructure. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Majority do a very valid point, because the money used is public resources, not his personal money. Senator Omar Sheikh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to comment on the statement of Senator Nyutu about SHA payments. Mr. Speaker, we went almost 18 counties, and we realized there are vulnerable people who are supposed to be paid for the SHA. But this is a very good idea for paying for vulnerable people, but Mr. Speaker, there must be a policy in the county. You cannot just use a public fund for whatever means. There must be a policy, and also, Mr. Speaker, the governors must not take initiatives that they wanted to assist the vulnerables and they misappropriate the fund. Mr. Speaker, the other one I wanted to get comments on the Chute. Mr. Speaker, there is in Minister of Interior was doing jukwaa wa usalama in all counties. Jukwaa wa usalama on so many counties, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, by now, the minister has resolved the issue of insecurity and how to do the accountability of these insecurity issues in all counties. Mr. Speaker, we wanted accountability of those guys who has been adopted, and the professionalisms and also community trust must be created between the police and the community. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Rekina Redama. The three of you seem to be of the same seniority, so I am unable to pick. We should go first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Any of us can go. I'm the whip, is a chairperson of a committee. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support two statements. One statement that has been raised by Senator Chuti in regards to the abduction in Marsabit County. Mr. Speaker, we need to grow of age. You know, we cannot be tolerating issues of abduction just because of small monetary gain. I think it's about time that we look at the underlying issues and resolve those issues. The people of Marsabit are people who have been put through extreme measures. You know, just being so far away, over 1,000 kilometers from Nairobi, you know, from really modern civilization. We hope that this House in devolution can support them. Mr. Speaker, the other day, I will raise a concern about the Rendile people not being given any public appointments. You know, now they're being abducted. So, Mr. Speaker, I think we really need to take those matters seriously. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the statement raised by Senator Cherargei and the issue of police brutality. I think this House must now come up with policies on how the police can use force. Issues of land, we know they're very emotive, but I think the police should be very neutral when it comes to that. When you lose your life because you're fighting for what you believe to be your property, and the police who are there, who are supposed to be the ones to protect you, are the ones who are being accused of having killed you, it really sends a very bad message to the younger generation. So, Mr. Speaker, those two statements are statements that the Committee on Security really need to take seriously so that we can have a conclusion on them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Cherargei Samson Kiprotich.
Mr. Speaker, for your information, I'm senior than Senator Ledama because I was sworn in before him, but since he's the minority whip, I can allow him the latitude. You know, some of us are bottom feeders, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me just make an observation by thanking Senator Mohammed Sayed Chute. I think this is the first time that Senator Chute is bringing a very important statement. Unlike in the past, Mr. Speaker, when he's criticizing a number of us. Mr. Speaker, this abduction of Julo Guyo Boru, a 47-year-old, is very unfortunate, Mr. Speaker. I think Kenya, if we are not careful, Mr. Speaker, Kenya is becoming a playground of abduction cases. You remember Besije, and his co-accused was abducted in Kenya. There was a Tanzania activist who was almost abducted in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, we have a number of abductions that we must be addressed, Mr. Speaker. I want to appeal even Betwell Chesir from Elgeyo Marakwet, Mr. Speaker, was abducted on his way to work somewhere in Kaptagat, Mr. Speaker, as he was going to see sailing father. To date, Betwell Chesir has never been found. either dead or alive, Mr. Speaker. So this issue of abductions, we must agree that the era of enforced disappearance, extrajudicial killings must come to an end, Mr. Speaker. And I'm happy Senator Omar had said something about Jukwaa la Usalama. To me, that was not Jukwaa la Usalama, it was Jukwaa la Kisiasa. Because even we have raised pertinent issues, even in Nandi County, but the Ministry of Interior has not found it wise to address those issues, Mr. Speaker. I think it was just a public relation exercise where more than 700 million of taxpayers' money was used, but we are yet to see the value of those Jukwaa la Kisiasa, Mr. Speaker. With those many remarks, I support the statement.
Senator Ososi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me to associate myself with a statement by Senator Okiya Omtata on the issue of illegal gold mining activity in various parts of Western Kenya. Particularly of interest to me, Madam Speaker, is the mining at Ramula. Ramula happens to be on the border between Siaya and Vihiga County. And the issues that Senator Omtata has raised are very, very genuine issues. And I look forward to the Committee on Lands and Environment really going through all these issues so that we can give direction to this county. Madam Speaker, the issue of artisanal mining in this country, it has been going on illegally, even as the county governments look, even as the national government look, and most importantly, the Ministry of Mining. Madam Speaker, I have on 2 occasions raised a similar statement on illegal mining activity in Vihiga County. And this, to my surprise, Madam Speaker, when I raised that statement, the county commissioner acted. The Chinese who were doing that, some of them were arrested. But 2 weeks later, they came back. And to my surprise, the Minister for Mining then, who is not Joho, the one who was there previously, visited the site of illegal mining, and knowing very well that that place is not licensed by the government. So this statement is timely. This place called Ramula, which is on the border between Vihiga and Siaya. On the Vihiga side, it's actually Mwibona Ward. There has been this prospecting and mining of gold. We have no problem with investor coming to mine in our region, but let them do it properly. Those agreements, community agreements, should be open. And the issue of corporate social responsibility, Madam Speaker, should be very clear. The roads, the schools, the hospitals must be constructed. Madam Speaker, it is sad that this company that wants to mine at Ramula wants to displace communities and take over their land, Madam Speaker, without following the clear guideline. So I will fully support this statement by Senator Omtata because our...
Okay, 1 minute.
Our very hard-working youth and communities have been losing because of unscrupulous gold miners. In this House, Madam Speaker, we've been passing additional allocation. You have seen that some counties, which ideally should be benefiting from mineral royalties, Kakamega, Vihiga, have not been benefiting. And yet, illegal miners are...
Senator Okenyuri.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would wish to first begin by supporting the statement by Senator Cherargei on the killing of 2 gentlemen over land disputes. Madam Speaker, these are cases we've had for a long time now, and it's very unfortunate that we have to lose lives for land disputes to be solved. I think we need to employ alternative dispute resolution mechanisms so that we are not losing lives over land disputes. Secondly, I want to support the statement by Senator Chute on the disappearance of Mr. Jilo Guyo Buro. Madam Speaker, in this country, unfortunately, we are reading sad statistics. Either young people are dying in police custody or people who are disappearing with no sight or information about their whereabouts. This is apparent to someone. This was a source of living to family, and it's really sad that we have to use to have disappearance of a medical professional in this manner. I would wish to support this statement that is urging the Ministry of Interior to look into this issue so that we know where Mr. Jilo Guyo is. His family deserves response on where their son is, and Kenya should not be losing their own citizens. This is a medical professional who should be serving the interest of Kenyans, but is now missing, Madam Speaker. It's really sad, and I hope the Ministry of Interior is going to hasten the process of knowing or issuing information on the whereabouts of this professional. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Mazayo.
Asante sana Bispika. Bispika, kwanza nataka kuunga mkono taarifa iliyoletwa na ndugu yetu Okiya Omtata, seneta wa hapa Busia, ikigusia mambo ya uchimbaji wa madini bila kufata sheria ama kufata masharti fulani ya uchimbaji wa madini. Bispika, utaweza kuona kwamba katika maeneo haya unachimbwa dhahabu ambayo ni madini ambayo yako na faida na pesa zaidi. Lakini hao madini hayo, je, yanafaidi yule mtu hapa Busia? Swala ni ama jibu ni kwamba la hasha, haisaidii mtu wa hapa Busia. Kwa hiyo madini yao ni kama yanachimbwa kiholela holela, hakuna sheria ambazo zimewekwa za mikakati. Ni jambo la kusikitisha. Kwa hiyo ni jambo muhimu kuzingatia. Ile kamati yetu ambayo itaangalia mambo haya izingatie zaidi kuona ya kwamba sheria za madini zimefuatiwa. Cha pili, Bispika, ni kwamba hata kule maeneo ya Kilifi kuna kuhali kunaitwa Jaribuni, ndio ambako kumetengeneza Lamu Port. Ile mambo ya simiti inatengeza kule, huko ndio kunatoka kokoto ambazo mwishowe zikitengezwa zinakuwa kama simiti. Kwa hiyo Bispika, tunaona kwamba ikiwa yale madini kule kumeingia watu wengi sana kule Jaribuni, watu ambao wanachimba manganizi, wanachimba hii mawe yale ambao yanageuka kokoto zile zinakuwa kama simiti, utaona ya kwamba ni jambo la kusikitisha Bispika, ya kwamba watu wakiwa wanachimba kiholela, hawana leseni, hawana hata hawafuati sheria za kuchimba, imekuwa ni jambo la kusikitisha sana. Kwa hiyo mimi nikiunga mkono hapa ni kwamba pia pande zile za Jaribuni kule Kilifi County ni lazima wale ambao wanafanya kazi kule wazingatie zile sheria, na ikiwa hakuna sheria ni kwamba mambo yatakwenda kiholela holela. Mimi nataka kusema kwamba jambo la kufanya wale ambao wanafanya kuchimba madini bila kufuatia sheria, hizo kampuni ziweze kufungwa. Ingekuwa zikifungwa zitasaidia ili wengine pia ambao wana nia kama hizo za kuchimba madini. Bispika, kama naweza kupata kama dakika moja nimalizie.
One minute.
Kwa hiyo Bispika, mimi nataka niunge mkono sana uchimbaji wa madini. Ni lazima ufuate taratibu, na vile vile ni lazima ufuate sheria, na wizara hususan ambayo inahusikana na hivi iweze kufuatilia kwa kina kuona kwamba madini hayo yamefaidisha mkaaji wa hapa Busia, mkaaji wa kule Kilifi, mkaaji wa popote katika Kenya ambapo watu wanachimba madini. Asante Bispika.
Honorable Senators, in the interest of time, we will close contributions on statements and move on to the next order.
Order number 8,
the County Hall of Fame Bill, Senate Bills number 18 of 2023, second reading, resumption of debate interrupted on Tuesday, 7th October 2025.
Honorable Senators, Beth Siango had 8 minutes to go. Is she around? Anybody else wants to speak to this? Senator Commissioner Omogene.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to also make my contribution on this bill, the Count Hall of Fame Bill 2023. I want to begin by thanking Senator Miraj, the brain behind this bill, for coming up with this very wonderful and progressive legislative proposal. Madam Speaker, today we were all very elated this afternoon when we recognized the great sons and daughters of Busia County who have made some contribution in making Kenya what it is today. People like former Minister Masinde, who served as Minister for Labor for more than 10 years, people like Amos Wako. Madam Speaker, it is regrettable that this recognition is being done by the Senate of Kenya, but not by the county government of Busia itself. I'm sure, Madam Speaker, if we go back to our respective counties, we all have heroes and heroines, people who have made contribution that people from our respective counties feel proud of. When I go to Nyamira, Mr. Speaker, I remember contributions that were made by people like the late George Anyona. In football, my neighbor knows that we had one of Kenya's most prolific striker, Henry Motego. If you remember when Kenya was qualifying to go to the Africa Cup of Nations, when Kenya was playing Tunisia, it's Henry Motego who scored the one goal that gave Kenya a ticket to go to the Africa Cup of Nations. Yesterday, Madam Speaker, unfortunately we lost Ezekiel Nyamau. The guy was in the quartet of the 4x4 Olympics, 1972. Last week, part one, I was seeing an analysis from the World Championship when Botswana won the 4x4. And they were saying, this is the first time Africa is winning a medal in the World Championship. But they ought to have also recognized that Kenya was the very first country in 1972 to bring gold medal to Africa. Madam Speaker, the guy who ran that race died in abject poverty, Ezekiel Nyamau. We will bury him maybe next week, Madam Speaker. But it's regrettable that if you go to Nyamira, there is nothing that can remind you that we had a great son who ran in the 1972 Olympics. I hope that this bill, this time around, will find favor with our friends in the other house, National Assembly, Madam Speaker, so that we legislate and have a framework of recognizing our heroes, Madam Speaker. Nyandika Mayoro, yes. We used to have great runners, like Nyantika, you know, yes. All those were great athletes from Kisii. Even the marathon. The lady was just retired in marathon. Mary Morales, she was not lucky to win any medal this time in the 800. Many people have done things that we are all proud of. We are proud of our emeritus Chief Justice, Maraga. He was the first Chief Justice in the continent of Africa to nullify a presidential election. And then it was followed by other countries in the south of Sahara. So we have, each one of us, I'm sure, in our respective counties, Madam Speaker, we all have heroes we can be proud of. I think the lady who won a double gold in 5,000, 10,000, if I'm not wrong, comes from Senator Cheriotis County. Yeah, Beatrice Chebet. She brought honors of medal in 5,000, gold medal 5,000, and gold medal in 10,000. But having said that, Madam Speaker, We also need to ensure, Madam Speaker, that the people we are honoring don't bring shame to us. You know, one of the, I don't want to mention any specific name, but you know, Madam Speaker, if you have also in the process of having gotten the honor to serve our country, and you have been adversely mentioned in corruption scandals, Madam Speaker, your name should not find its way to the Hall of Fame. We need, in this bill, to put a very clear criteria, Madam Speaker, so that the men and women that we are honoring should be men and women of integrity, impeccable credentials, people who cannot be challenged. Just like the role of senior counsels, Madam Speaker, you know what we go through before you get inducted to the role of senior counsel. It should be somebody when residents of that county look at you, they say, yes, this one is deserving. You saw the accolades that we accorded Amos Wako. You saw the accolades that we accorded to JJ Masiga. You saw the accolades we accorded to our clerk here. So we need to ensure that the framework we are putting in place, Madam Speaker, should have men and women in the selection panel in Section 6 that can pick men and women who have served with distinction in their respective field. But if you go to Section 6, Madam Speaker, we are saying the members to sit in the selection panel is the County Executive Committee member, the clerk of the County Assembly, the chairperson of the Public Service Board, and the 2 officers nominated by the County Public Service Board. We are filling people from the county, Madam Speaker, and not picking people who the nation can appreciate and say, look, in the county of Busia, the people in the selection panel are men and women of honor. Why can't we propose, Madam Speaker, that the people to sit in this panel should be people who have also served the country? Why, Madam Speaker? In Busia, I think the inaugural chair of this board should be somebody like Amos Wako, somebody like, what was the lady who was here? Julia Ojiambo. You know, instead of saying we want to pick people from, this thing can be politicized. If you give people from the governor's office, they will pick their friends. So I propose that, Senator Miraj, you reconsider what is in Section 6, so that we pick people who are outside the executive to sit in the selection panel, and then we look at men who have served the country with distinction. You can pick their names all over. If you go to Kericho, you can pick people like Franklin Bett. He had a distinguished career in politics, serving as a controller of State House. Every county has somebody you can pick. And then, Madam Speaker, I like the idea which is in Section 16. We have had problems with this idea of senior counsel, people in senior counsel, because there are people who have brought shame to the legal profession, but they have that title, senior counsel. And we don't have any criteria that has been put down legally for us to revoke senior counsel. I had a big problem when I was the chair of the Law Society of Kenya, when members petitioned me to move, to strike out the late Samuel Kivuitu, may God bless, keep his soul in the eternal peace. But I was being pushed to have his name struck off the role of senior counsel, but there was no criteria. I'm happy that this bill at Section 16 has proposed that there should be a very clear criteria of revoking the name of a person who has been put in the Hall of Fame. Like if you mention a governor and you find he has been charged that he misappropriated resources of our county, you can't continue keeping him in the role of honor. You strike him off. So that's a very good thing, Miraj, in Section 16. Maybe what we should do is to make the process to be fair, so that before you strike out the name, he's given a chance to be heard, Madam Speaker, before his name is struck off. I hope we can also do so posthumously. There are people, Madam Speaker, like in Nyamira, people like George Anyona, who fought very hard for tea farmers. And Madam Speaker, as I'm speaking, we have never seen low bonus payments for tea farmers. I'm sure including Kericho, Bomet. You know, as a country, how do you pay a tea farmer 12 shillings? How, Madam Speaker? And things are progressing like it's normal. I've not seen any statement from the Minister for CS Agriculture. This should be like a crisis. You know, if you pay a farmer, Madam Speaker, 12 shillings, you are basically condemning that guy into poverty. They can't pay school fees. They can't even be able to fend for themselves, Madam Speaker. I hope this House, that statement that was sought by my good friend, Senator Okenyuri, we need to summon the CS Agriculture to come before the House and tell us what role is the government playing in ensuring that the tea farmers get good returns. And we keep telling people in this country that tea is the highest foreign earner. If it's the highest foreign earner, why can't we also put money in the pocket of farmers? In some counties like Nyamira, farmers are uprooting tea. So the government cannot just sit back and watch when we are uprooting tea. Farming, issues dealing with food, those are issues of national security, Madam Speaker. And the government must do something because the people expect answers from their government. If farming is not doing well, I heard Senator Mundigi saying that even fish farming is suffering. I didn't know in Busia. If the fish farmer is not getting good returns, they expect answers from the government, Madam Speaker. If the tea farmer is not getting good returns, they expect interventions from the government, Madam Speaker. So we really must call the government to order and look for answers, Madam Speaker. The way they put in place interventions for the sugarcane farmers in Western Kenya, for the milk farmers, for the coffee farmers, and so it must be for the tea farmers in Kisii, Nyamira, Bomet, Kericho, Western region, Madam Speaker. That's the only way, Senator Cheruiyot. If you step forward and fight for farmers, that's the only way you will find your name into this county all of them. Because you must fight for the farmers, Madam Speaker. Finally, Madam Speaker, as I conclude, every time we pass laws, we forget like senators have no role to play, Madam Speaker. What is wrong, Madam Speaker, if we provide in this bill that in the selection panel, Madam Speaker, the office of the senator will be given a say in proposing somebody, a name, you propose a name of somebody who will be sitting in this election panel, so that the process is all inclusive. We should not leave a process like this to be purely in the hands of a governor. We are elected to represent our counties, Madam Speaker. It's only that a governor is in the executive. We are in the legislation. Do you know, Madam Speaker, that in the roads, in the road sector, members of constituencies propose people who sit in the roads boards in constituencies. They do it. So why not do the same for us as senators, Madam Speaker? So Senator Miraj, I'll be moving a few amendments to this bill so that we enrich it and make it better, so that it incorporates the role that we all play as elected leaders, so that there is fairness and equity. So that there is fairness and equity. And Madam Speaker, in conclusion, Madam Speaker, we all want to demand fairness and...
Order, Senator Mariam. You are crossing, please go back and do the right thing.